Hi, my name is Craig Wilkinson, and these are your burning dad questions. Here's a question from a dad who says, when Google doesn't help, where do you go to find answers to questions you're too embarrassed to ask your mates or your partner, etc.? That's a great question. This highlights a bit of a deeper issue with men. It's the issue of men not wanting to ask directions, and what the research is bringing to bear more and more is that men are lonely. Underlying all of this is a real fear in us as men, a fear of being vulnerable, a fear of being seen as weak. And what we need to do is realize that life is not a solo game. Life is not a game we play alone. No football match, soccer match, rugby match was ever won by one player. And in fact, the teams that are the worst teams are the teams that are full of individual players. The teams that do very well are the teams that pass, that work together. And life is absolutely the same. And being a father is the same. Guys, we need each other. We truly, truly need each other. The question that this dad asked really shows and highlights that as men, we often go solo. We go solo, particularly when it comes to the difficult issues. Issues around, am I performing in bed? These kind of questions. Or am I screwing up as a father? Or am I competent enough, able enough, good enough? These are questions that are on every man's heart. And it's questions that we should never deal with alone. You know that the suicide rate is 4 times higher amongst men. 4 times higher than women. And this is one of the reasons. We don't share. We go it alone. We need to share with other men. Ideally, as men, we need to become very intentional about finding men in our lives. There might be existing friends, there might be new friends, there might even be friends we communicate with online that we've never physically met. Men that can be mentors. But we need as men to seek help, and we need as men to seek assistance and company and fellowship and brotherhood in this journey of fatherhood. So ideally, become very intentional about being the man who asks the questions. Ask the question. One of the things about asking questions with other guys or sharing a little bit of vulnerability, it gives them permission to do the same. And almost inevitably, when you share with someone else or a group of guys, geez, guys, I'm really struggling with this issue, you'll find that they're struggling with the very same issue. None of these issues are uncommon to all of us. And the more we're able to lead the way in being vulnerable and in sharing and saying, I'm going to be the dude that asks maybe the embarrassing question, or this, what I feel is a foolish question. But the more you do that, the more you create a band of brothers, a fellowship of guys that can really help us stand together and work together to become better fathers, better men, just become all that we were designed to be. No man ever reached his full potential alone. We need a band of brothers. We need people around us, and they can be friends. They can be acquaintances, they can be men who, as I said, we've never met, but they produce fantastic YouTube clips or books or videos, or they can be professionals, a professional coach, a life coach, a counselor. No shame whatsoever in seeking that kind of help, because as men, we're going to be better for it, and we're going to be far worse off if we're not able to ask help. So let's not be embarrassed, let's not be ashamed, let's not fear that vulnerability is a weakness. It's certainly not. I tell you what, it takes a lot more courage to be vulnerable than it does to lie about how I'm feeling. Someone once said that the greatest lie men ever tell is, I'm fine, when we're actually not. So let's get together, guys, let's band together, let's ask for help, and let's crack this thing. It's an all-important role being a dad. You hold the heart and the life of your children in your hands, and let's get all the help we need to do that well, to do it brilliantly. Our kids will thank us for it, and you'll thank yourself for it because you'll be a better man for it. Thank you so much for listening. See you again with your next burning dad question.